Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Static Sheep getting his Datsun well and truly stuck. That's you couldn't plan it better than that. The Datsun is not going anywhere. It is sort of gradually sliding out. That's stuck. You're not getting the Datsun free there. Forza 153 on Horizon 2. This was during the versus community race with the hot hatches finding a notorious bump. It is so easy to do that. And the car behind you may just about see it in the rear view mirrors. Also finds that same bump. Horrible place down there. IB Foldy on Forza Horizon 2 going for a tumble with the Camaro and the Chevy really not quite knowing at what point to stop the roll. We've kind of had a front flip and now we're just rolling around in circles for no apparent reason. And still the Camaro goes. Unfortunately the game resets it before we can see just how long it would go. Perfect Ghosts on Horizon 2 going for a speed run with his Venom, getting it very fast. Going to try and hit the big sort of ramp. Manages to get a pretty much perfect backflip and lands it smoothly. Yeah, he probably couldn't do that again. He tried. It's very smooth landing for that. Greg Gliscorp on Horizon 2 finding out why trying to fit 5 cars into one piece of tarmac doesn't work, as everything goes all over the place on that one. I think we went above a Caterham at some point, but that many cars into one place doesn't quite fit. Mancake on Grid 2 going for a double barrel roll off a bank, and Mercedes would go past almost underneath them. This is quite I had to slow it down. Quite a spectacular one. Just runs a little bit wide, too far up behind the back of the Mustang. Clips the bank, and it's not a particularly big clip either. The double roll, the Mercedes is incredibly close to whatever car it is that we're driving here. Yeah, that's impressive. That's damn impressive. The Cam on the Crew driving the racing Cadillac. This is an absolutely crazy vehicle. I love it. It's just ridiculous. Driving down the storm drain. However, the storm drain does come to an end. Doesn't seem to bother the Cadillac though at all. The Escalade is now a boat. I don't think that's supposed to happen, but. Yeah, the escalator. Yes, the escalator is not bothered by the water. Yeah, it just makes no difference to this car. That's quite impressive. That is quite impressive. Up next, Derping Penguin on the Crew with a Dodge Charger, trying to complete one of the skill things. As he runs up towards the top of the hill, the sudden train appearing. Yeah, sudden trains do not really help when doing the mini missions. Yeah, that one there has ruined the run. We're on to Project Cars. I'm quite impressed with this crash, I have to say. BMW misses his braking and can't get it stopped. Sort of brushes along the side of the Aston Martin, manages to send the Rapide almost onto its roof. I think it gets righted by the other Aston Martin. He managed to almost... I don't quite know how that car got rolled over there, but it's sort of stuck on its side now. I don't know if it does. It looks like it is actually going to go over. Yeah, that's a peculiar way to roll a vehicle, but I am impressed nonetheless. Montajo on GTA 5 just got rid of his wanted rating, but completely befuddled a police car. It's got stuck in the door of the Union Depository. That's not quite how you use a door. It's not really impressive wheelie going on. Not really worked for getting out there. Mad Al House on GTA 5 as we come up towards sort of one of the dropper points. The Insurgent is quite dangerous, and you don't want one of them following you too closely, as it just obliterates the vaulting. The guy here just manages to get out of his car in time before being sent, before the car gets sent just miles and flipping and twisting. Insurgents are dangerous. I think we have come to this conclusion on GTA 5. They are quite ridiculous vehicles, and yeah, that was the Voltic there. Kentucky Moose landing a jump in his Bobcat on top of the minivan, and we go for a tumble. And I love how none of the traffic, like he landed on top of that minivan over there. I think it's the grey one. And it just doesn't care. You had a pickup truck land on your roof and then roll across the road in front of you. It doesn't care whatsoever. Charles V on GTA 5. The police are trying out some new tactics with their surprise attacks from the bushes. They're quite successful. Well, if they were aiming for the Insurgent, they weren't very successful. But they were definitely definitely successful at getting the Osiris there. I do quite like that one. Manuel with clutch, trying to land a plane on the Sandy Shores runway, and, well, it's one way to get it stopped. Perhaps not the conventional method there, sort of, taking off the wing and then kind of getting it turned somehow to get into the hangar there. It's a landing, I guess, just about. Pre-dawn Moss on GTA 5 with some of his friends taking some pot shot at him while they're all safely on the train, chucking some explosives. So he goes for a little bit of revenge, using the jumps to try and get onto the train carriages. I would say that was a pretty damn good shot. Well done there. Managing to drive straight into the other people. Monk of War in a tank being carried by a cargo bob. This has dangerous written all over it, and as it gets a little bit too low, bounces off a mini. Physics get angry, and we will just catapult a tank towards the beach. We have some flips and some twists. I love the way the tank tumbles. It just doesn't quite know what to do, and it ends up in the water. Nexus 88 on Far Cry 3 trying to hunt down a goat, but be careful. Goats have got new tactics. Yes, they have the power of distraction. Let's just throw a rolling car at the person. See? Goats got away. It's they have a new evolutionary trait. Yeah, for some reason the car fell over. There was a bit of an explosion as well. Over there, he's lost the goat completely. And this, yeah, a rather big fireball. And we finish with Rebel 07 on Far Cry 4. Again, you don't play with rhinos. Rhinos are dangerous things, so he tries to unload a whole clip of crossbow ammo. And the rhino doesn't really care. The rhino then uses the car as its weapon of choice, throws the little minivan, and again, it gives it another hit for good measure. Now the rhinos are ganging up on him. It's the time to run away. Yeah, the Far Cry animals are dangerous. Not only can they magically roll cars, they can also throw cars at you. You don't want to mess with them on either of the recent Far Cry games. But that is it for this episode, guys. If you have clips you would like to submit to this series, then you can go to our forums. There will be a link in the description. Right at the very top is the FailRace clip submission section, and in there you can find all the rules and how to submit them. But that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.